Hello and welcome to tonight's show. I will caution our audience that this program is intended to frighten you. This program is made to send shivers down your spine, made to make your blood run cold in your veins, and make you question your own reality right before your eyes. The upcoming show may not be for everyone, so I must caution you, dear audience, viewer discretion is advised.
Hello, and welcome to the first episode of Beware the Night Hours, a show all about the education of the cryptids and monsters that walk among us. I am renowned cryptozoologist Wes Donahue. I have many years of experience hunting and documenting these creatures, making me the expert on this topic.
And I'm your local skeptic, James Fredkin. I'm here to basically be the devil's advocate against Wesley over here. I personally don't buy into all that monster jazz, but the world works in mysterious ways, so hey, I could be wrong.
James, do not call me Wessie. Thank you. But you did remind me about something. Just because that you don't believe that there are monsters and cryptids in this world does not mean that they aren't out there, lurking and waiting for a time to strike. Ignorance and hiding away from the truth can only protect you so long, and when they do find you, it will be a messy and terrible end. You can't escape from the reality in which you live in.
Wow, that was dark, Wes. Lighten up a bit, it's the first episode.
Stop, please. This show is for educational purposes. So people need to know the risks associated with cryptids and monsters.
You haven't even explained to the folks at home what a cryptic even is. Sir, they can probably imply what it is, but if the show is really that educational, then educate. Floor is yours.
All right then. A cryptid is an animal that doesn't technically have any scientific evidence or of existing, but they are creatures of myth and legend that cryptozoologists, such as I, research and try to prove that they exist. Just because there is no concrete scientific evidence proving that they exist just yet, does not mean they aren't real.
Yeah, once upon a time, certain animals were classified as cryptids or monsters because of that lack of scientific evidence there that you got there, Wes. Just like the giant squid or the kraken. Its existence was hard to verify, and to some it seemed impossible that such a creature could exist. But through research of carcasses that washed up on shore and eventual pictures of live specimen, the giant squid became just another sea creature that was removed from the category of cryptid.
James, I'm actually surprised that you knew that. You've never cared about cryptids or monsters at all, except for making fun of them. Why are you on the show again? Are you just here to mock me?
Nah, Wesley, I'm here because you're my best buddy in the whole wide world. So of course I wouldn't miss the opportunity to keep you company on your fancy little show. Plus, a show is no good without some level of conflict.
Well, as much as it irks me that you aren't here because you're passionate about cryptozoology like me, I'm glad you are my co-host instead of some other idiot. Now, since this is the first episode, we will start off with some more commonly known cryptids and monsters in order to ease our viewers into this field.
Oh, wait. Oh, can we talk about Bigfoot? I love Bigfoot. You know how much I love Bigfoot. Come on. You gotta do it. You gotta do it. It's with the show.
We are not going to talk about Bigfoot.
Why?
Bigfoot's just some big, tall, hairy human. What's so special about that? Okay.
There's so many
We're
things
going to
special
talk about the Fresno night crawlers. That's a story with some pizzazz right there.
The what? I've never even heard of those before. I'd say you're just making them up, but you're way too serious about these things to even think about joking about it.
Of course, I'm not joking about them. I'd say that you did minimal research before coming onto the show, but I know for a fact that you probably did not do any research at all before coming on the show.
You know me so well, Wes. Of course I didn't do any research. I don't need to. I know all the important things already. You know things that actually matter, and all that research jazz. Boring.
Whatever. Anyway, the Fresno nightcrawlers were various pale, wishbone-shaped creatures that have been spotted multiple times in modern day. Fresno, California, in 2011 being where and when one of the first times that they were spotted. Some have claimed these creatures to be spirits or demons, but many consider them to be of extraterrestrial origins instead. They are typically spotted in groups of at least 2 and seem to be docile, content to just walk past any camera or people who may catch a glimpse of them.
If they've been spotted multiple times and apparently on camera as well, why are they still cryptids then?
Well, because some idiots out there faked their own Nightcrawler footage, which makes any footage taken of them be put in question. This is why continued research without tampering from outside sources is so important. This case could have been solved already by now, but instead, we're still debating the existence of these creatures because of just a couple idiots.
Calm down there, Wussy. Sometimes it's nice to just leave some things into the unknown. You'll certainly get less gray hairs that way.
Again, please stop calling me Wessie. And of course, no, we can't leave things in the unknown. Leaving these creatures unknown is not safe. How are we supposed to protect ourselves against something we can't see?
Have you thought about the fact that maybe some of these creatures are brought into the world because of our desire to know them? Maybe they just want to be left alone and people just keep bugging them. You know, he who is not content with what he has will not be content with what he desires.
Did you seriously just misquote Socrates to me?
Of course not.
Whatever. You're free to leave if you're so spooked out about this. I mean, I'm going to move on to the next creature then. The next creature we will be discussing is the bunyip, a creature with origins of Aboriginal in the southeastern Australia. It is said to be a wicked creature that sparks fear in anyone who dares get close enough to view it. The name bunyip is typically translated into modern English days as evil spirit or even devil. This creature is said to be extremely dangerous in certain stories, particularly feeding on women and children. The bunyip has had various descriptions on what it looks like, as it sparks so much fear that it is hard to think of anything except getting the heck out of there. What is known about it is that the bunyip is nocturnal, amphibious, and that it lays its eggs in platypus nests.
Wow, that sounds super dangerous, and it's probably best that locals stay away from it instead of provoking it in the senseless pursuit of knowledge. That's just a little tidbit from me.
James, please stop preaching your views, your things. It's starting to get very annoying.
I'm not preaching. I'm saying facts. And the fact is, there would be less deaths and less missing cases if they just left them alone.
That's speculation.
Okay.
If anything, it's been theorized that the bunyip is in the same category as the kraken. There's a good chance that it is a creature that in modern times is already named and identified, but because of the rural and spiritual origins, it remains a creature of legend where it's located.
That doesn't make it any less dangerous, though. Anyway, I think we have time for one more cryptic showcase before we move on to the special ending portion of the show.
Ending portion? What does it even mean? freaking, you are insufferable. Okay, I guess we can end off talking about the Awful from the upper region of Vermont, a creature so frightening that it caused a man to have a heart attack just from glaring down upon him.
Lame. What kind of name is the Awful anyway? Plus, Vermont already has their very own knockoff Loch Ness Monster, Champ, that they bleed dry at any chance they get. They're still going. That monster is dead. They don't need another weirdo cryptic instead. Plus, today's episode is supposed to be about cryptids that everyone knows. I barely knew any of the cryptids shown so far, if I'm being honest.
First off, okay, the name, the Awful, yeah, okay, fair. It's kind of an odd name.
It's awful.
Not the.
It's terrible. Like its name, Awful.
But okay, hold on. You've been saying cryptic this whole time. It's cryptid. Come on. The two different, completely different words.
What
Cryptic.
do you mean it's two different words?
Cryptid is the animal. Are animals that are uncategorized, and cryptic is like a hidden meaning and like being secretive about things, completely different things. It no relation. Well, some kind of similar relation, but anyways, the Awful is still a fascinating creature that I would love to begin talking about. I mean, can I please?
Blah, blah, blah. You've really commandeered the screen time for this episode. It may be technically your show, but I'm still your co-host, and I deserve my time to shine. So the cryptid I want to talk about for my 5 minutes of fame is the Chupacabra, the legendary goat sucker. Shut it, you big baby. You're like a hipster for monsters. The Chupacabra is rumored to be a vile, blood-sucking creature that mainly attacks livestock and pets primarily in the lower United States, Mexico, Puerto Rico, and other various Latin American countries. The name itself comes from the words to suck and goat in Spanish, as that is its calling card. The Chupacabra has been spotted sucking all the blood out of its prey, leaving their bodies an empty husk. It's said to be reptilian or alien-like in nature, having an otherworldly appearance. It can be as large as a small bear and typically has a sharp row of spines going down its back.
Well, that was very well put together, James. I applaud you. Now, I'm glad to see you're finally taking this seriously.
I actually wasn't finished. It's been mostly proven that legends of the Chupacabra are in fact fake. Most sightings of the creature have been starving animals, typically dogs with mange. The poor mutts are so skinny that their spines nearly poke out of their back and give off the appearance of deadly spines. Mange also causes fur to fall off of the animal and give their skin to take a flaky, sometimes scaly effect. Also, whenever the deceased livestock or pets is checked by an actual vet, it's been seen that they aren't actually drained fully of blood. It's simply an exaggeration made by the distressed owner.
Of course, you find a way to bring this back into your devil's advocate mess. You are supposed to be educating the viewers on these monsters.
I am educating people that they are scared for nothing, and there is a logical explanation as to why this has happened. What I'm educating on is the fact that sometimes people will refuse to look at the facts and instead choose to make up stories to avoid the uncomfortable truths of the situation. No one wants to admit that where they live is filled with starving, diseased dogs, so they make a random story about a disgusting-looking monster instead, so they don't have to deal with the depressing implications of it.
When did you get so philosophical and wise lately? I distinctly remember that when trying to get a prom date in high school, you decided to ask someone for their number with a country accent while using Southern slang because you thought it was more charming.
I was 16, and you can't deny that country accents are charming. But really, you're the one to talk, dude. You literally went temporarily blind for a hot second, like a month ago, because you were reading for so long. Your eyes went cross. Plus, when your doctor told you to, ease up on the reading because you're going to go blind, you ignored her and did the same thing. And it happened the very next day. Blind, like a bat. I had to help you.
Now, I have many embarrassing stories about you that happened, last week.
Really? Then tell me. Tell me one. Tell the audience. Tell them your right now embarrassing story about me. Well, let's talk then. Come on, Mr. Talks a lot. The audience those funny stories.
Why can't I remember?
See, folks, under that tough exterior, Wes is a fun guy. It seems like we're almost out of time anyway, so let's move on to the special ending portion of the show.
Wait, hold on.
Our super secret special ending portion of the show is the viewer submissions. We ask viewers like you to send us your personal footage of your encounter with the creepy, strange, and unexplainable so that we can discuss it here and decide what kind of monsters you are, or potentially not, dealing with.
Wait, can we just talk about what happened just now?
Wesley, we do not have time for that. We got to move on. Live and let learn is what they say. I think that's how the saying goes.
I guess.
That's the spirit. So, our first submission of the show comes from Angela Loomis, who claims that she encountered Bigfoot in the city that she lives in. How exciting. You know how much I love Bigfoot. It's Bigfoot.
Bigfoot is easily the most faked type of cryptid video out there. For every authentic picture of Bigfoot, there are a million faked pictures, videos, or sightings.
And he's back to normal, folks. Well, let's take a look at Angela's video and we can decide whether it's one of the good ones.
One. Oh my gosh, you guys, it's Bigfoot. Oh my gosh, guys, it's Bigfoot. Oh my gosh, look how scary he is, you guys. Oh my god, he just said his name was Bigfoot. It's Bigfoot, everyone. Oh my god. All right, did we get the shot, Jerry?
Yeah.
I guess you were right about those fake Bigfoot videos. That was awful. That was terrible.
What was
That was worse than most of the Bigfoot videos that I've seen in my life.
Did you see that? Did anyone else see that? Hold on. Can we please play back the video?
See, what's the deal, man? I thought you'd be tearing this apart. You look like you've seen a ghost or something.
Can we please just play back the video? Just really quick.
I guess. Roll it back.
See, I told you, I saw something. Hold it.
Well, that's all the time we have for today, folks. Thank you for joining us, and we'll see you next time.
Hold on. No. We need to talk about what just happened. Don't I?
There have still been no updates in the missing person case of Ed McKinley. Police investigators have reported that McKinley was last seen near the Eastwood Forest National Park with his father's prize racing horse. It is still unknown what his intentions were, but a witness says that he appeared to have a weapon of some sort with him as well. He was last seen wearing a black sweatshirt, and he has a distinct tattoo sleeve on his right arm. McKinley appears to be armed and dangerous, so police warn not to approach him and immediately call the police if he is seen.